Even I know that he is very busy. Biblical prayer is one of our activities and commitment of the administration to strengthen ourselves, especially in our work here, that we have so many challenges, not only to survive, being in business realm, and we know how difficult the time is. Another challenge that we have to face is, of course, our to carry out our mission, and that is the very reason of our existence, that we are not just here to work, but how we carry our mission of the church. And of course, this is to spread the gospel. And in so doing, we have to strengthen our faith, because without Christ we can do nothing. So once again, I would like to welcome each one of you, and we hope that this week we will be blessed with more spiritual food that will strengthen us. Thank you.
That's the first time I saw him, and my first impression, he is a man of God. Humble individual, and I never thought of what he had experienced. And I'm very happy that I invited him to be our speaker for the week of prayer, or else, if I know before I meet him, then maybe I'd be embarrassed to invite him. Well, I'd like to share to you what I know about him after reading these papers. By education, of course, he's a graduate of Mountain College from the course BSc in English and Music Education. And he finished his Master of Arts, major in English Education, and he studied BS1 since 1976 to 1979 in Amidst University of the Philippines and De La Salle University, that is in Manila. And he taught and finished his educational specialist in administration and leadership, academic supervision, emphasis in Loma Linda University from 1985 to 1986, and in the same school, Loma Linda University, from 1986 to 1993. He finished his doctoral education, emphasis in administration and leadership, and fundraising emphasis. He has many experiences. Of course, we reserve some of this because there are almost 10 pages. But I like to read some of this. He has been a principal of college and college English instructor in Guam Public School, a principal of Calexo Mission Academy, Bakersfield Adventist Academy, San Bernardino Valley College. These are all in the US, California, and Guam, USA. In Central American University, Adventist University, that is in Costa Rica, and Johnson Smith University. He is the coordinator for La Sierra University Graduate Program in Education, chair of the English and Music Departments, assistant vice president for development, and he is a graduate assistant and VP for advancement, assistant research coordinator of Loma Linda University from 1985 to 1993. He is a registrar, English and Music instructor, assistant examiner for English, British time, for the government of Malawi, that is in Africa, as a missionary, since 1982 to 1995. In Amidst University of the Philippines, Mapua Institute of Technology, he is an English and Music instructor since 1976 and 1982. And in Negros Mission Academy and West Negros University, he's working there since 1970 to 1976. Well, presently he is the president of Mountain View College since 2006 until present. And in fact, just recently he finished his second term being the president of the Association of Association of Christian Schools, Colleges, and Universities in the Philippines. And he is also an awardee, the most outstanding alumnus of Amidst University in the Philippines, and most outstanding alumnus of Mountain View College, listed as who's who of American students and who's who of international professional educators. Novelonio Dia, Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing in Loma Linda University as a Nursing Program Director, Azusa Pacific University, California. They have two daughters, Claire Dia Pringle and Vida Stephanie, with two grandsons. One grandson, Julian D. Daniel Dia. Fellow workers, we are blessed with the Lord, and we are happy for calling him to be our speaker this whole week of prayer. And I hope that all of us will be blessed by attending daily and every meeting for this whole week of prayer. Let us welcome Dr. Daniel B. Dia. Let's give him the time.
Thank you very much, Dr. Patalino and Pastor Navarro, for the invitation. I'm very much honored to be here. I know some of you, especially Miss Mopia. I was hoping, of course, that she would be addressed as Mrs. afterwards. She came to Africa after we left Africa. And that's why we kind of just exchanged positions out there in Africa. And of course, some students, 90%, not students anymore, of course, nurses, I think, according to Dr. Federico, more than 90% of you are graduates of Mountain College, and we are proud of you to be working here in this hospital, the Bausan Retirement Hospital, or the Bau Baptist Hospital now. I'm not new to this kind of setting because my wife introduced Pastor Navarro, said that my wife is also a nurse, only that she doesn't want to work on the floor. So that's why after 1 year of working as head nurse in the pediatric department of Manila Retirement Hospital, she moved to teaching. So she spent most of her time now, for more than 30 years, as teaching in the universities. And so, as I've said, I'm not new to this kind of setting, the hospital setting. Apollo Retirement Hospital, International Retirement Hospital, our house in Loma Linda University and Medical Center in California is about a few meters away from Loma Linda University Medical Center in the university. So that's why I'm always familiar with emergencies and all of that. In fact, our house is just in front of a highway where a lot of these ambulances would coming from different counties and from different cities in California. And also it has become, of course, the #1 regional trauma center and also research center in the United States. And so you'll see a lot of helicopters landing on the rooftops of the medical center for emergencies and for transplants of organs and all of that. So very busy with about 3,000 plus workers. That's Loma Linda. And only about 55% of those are Adventists. The rest are not Adventists. Because it's mandated by law. When you receive funding from California and from the Congress, of course from the federal government of the United States, you have to employ even non-Adventists. So that's why that is the situation. I think in most of our hospitals, we have that. The License of the Retirement Hospital, most of the doctors are actually non-Adventists. So that's the reality that we have to face. But anyway, I'm so glad to be here and be part of your worship here, especially the whole week this week. I hope you don't get tired of this, Pastor Navarro. And because I have a few minutes only left, I thought I could be here for about 5 hours, but I couldn't do that. So I have a whole week anyway, so I just don't have to cram everything in just one setting, one sitting. Anyway, God's abundant grace. Let me go to this very quickly now. Excuse me. Just turn this off. But Mike, I have a meeting here. I'm speaking, so can I call you back? Thank you. All right. Bye. Sorry. When you are bringing the office also here, it's very difficult to just turn it off. But anyway, I'll try that without being distracted. Pilgrim's Problems. We're kind of a traveler, mobile family. We have moved around in different places. And I don't know, but even my wife shares that. Very mobile. We move about too much. And in fact, our children are complaining about that. But we like to travel. It's just that there's been a lot of travels that sometimes it's unsettling for the kids, when you travel quite a lot. But we've enjoyed, we've learned. Sometimes, in hindsight, I would call them as the children, 2 daughters, by the way, I would say, what can you say about having traveled in different countries? Oh, Dad, we enjoyed seeing places, but we disliked, being uprooted from our friends. Yeah, but I said, well, once a missionary, always a missionary. So we work in different parts of the world and traveling in between, to different places. Even the country down under in Australia or South Africa, and I'm sure Ms. Mopia here has traveled to those places also in the past. But when you get to Africa, you get also to travel the whole, if possible, most of the countries in Europe. My practice, of course, when I was a professor at one of the universities in the States, was this, to take my students, about 60 of them, every year for 10 years, to 10 countries in Europe. So it's been like that, traveling and traveling and traveling, no end to that, of course, until the Lord comes, maybe. The Pilgrim's Progress, and we are called pilgrims as Christians, traveling toward the kingdom, toward heaven.